This is where we're at so far. Hey, what's up Aquamigos? How are you guys doing today? If you look behind me, you'll see the progress of the pond build. This is where we're at so far. We have the concrete footing around the entire perimeter. We have the hole dug out. We have the shelving carved out. And the next step is to build the cinder block retaining wall. But before I can build that cinder block retaining wall, there are a few more things I have to go out and buy. I have to buy a hammer drill. I have to buy a special drill bit for that hammer drill. I need to buy some rebar, and I also need to buy some mortar. The concrete mix that I have right now, it's not going to work for sticking the bricks together. I'm going to have to buy a different kind of mortar mix that does not have gravel mixed in with it. And once I get the rest of these supplies, I can get started building the retaining wall. So I'm actually not sure if I'm actually going to do any building of the retaining wall in today's video. I guess it kind of depends on how long it takes me to go out and get these things, if I'm able to get everything I need, and I guess what time it is when I get back home. Alright guys, so I'm gonna try to talk fast because I had to turn the air off to talk because it's too loud and it's boiling hot, so I'm gonna try to make this fast. I ended up getting basically everything I needed. I didn't get enough cement. I only bought 4 bags, and with those 4 bags, I should be able to calculate how many bags I'll need in total. And then I kind of estimated on how much rebar I needed. I'll go over all this when I get home, and then I'll talk about what everything is for. But yeah, let's go head home right now. Okay guys, I'm back now and I'm just gonna show you guys what I bought. These are the supplies that I needed in order to build the retaining wall for the pond. Right here I have the hammer drill, or the drill hammer, whatever it's called. It's by the brand Bauer. It was $90 at Harbor Freight. It does not include the drill or the chisel, so I went to Lowe's and I bought those separately. This right here is a 1/2 inch masonry drill, I believe it's called, and it's meant to drill through concrete. So that'll be able to make a 1/2 inch hole in the footing of the pond. So let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. This footing that I built before I dug out the koi pond, this is actually going to act as a foundation for my retaining wall. If you're new to my channel, the retaining wall is going to be built out of cinder blocks like this over here. And while I'm building up that wall, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to drill down into the foundation so that I can stick rebar through it, so that the rebar will come up through the cinder blocks and it'll add some more stability to the wall. Now the rebar that I bought is 3/8 inch rebar, and this is it over here. The thickness of this rebar is 3/8 of an inch, so just under 1/2 an inch, so that the rebar can fit through the holes that I'm drilling in the foundation. Now when it comes to the mortar that I just bought for sticking the cinder blocks together, this is it right here, and sorry the air conditioner is a bit loud, but this is the mortar that I bought right here. In case you're curious of what mortar I bought specifically, it's the Quikrete 1102, and it should be like a very smooth mortar. There's not going to be any gravel in that, and I only bought 4 bags of it because Lowe's was running out. All the bags they had left had like holes in them and were like leaking like crazy, so I just picked out the 4 best bags that they had. I'm gonna have to go to Lowe's again, probably a different Lowe's, and buy some more bags after I kind of calculate how much I'm going to need. As for the rebar that I just bought, I'm not 100% sure how much I'm going to need either, but each one of these pieces of rebar is 10 feet long. long. So this is like 30 feet worth of rebar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up so that they'll be roughly the height of the wall. So the wall is going to be 2 cinder blocks high. I'm probably going to drill the rebar maybe like 6 inches into the footing, and then it's going to come up probably to the top of the second cinder block, so like roughly 16 inches above the ground. And my dad actually has a tool that I can use for cutting up that rebar. I'll show you guys that right now. All right, let's take a look at it real quick. Just put it here in the light. This is it, guys. It's called an angle grinder, and that's what we're going to use to cut up that rebar. And I'm pretty eager to try out this hammer drill. Let's go and unbox it right now. Okay guys, so I was just going through the instructions and it seems easy enough to operate. The only problem is this one thing in the instructions that say, grease the drill bit shank before installing. I don't have any grease, so I'm not going to be able to do that, but I think it'll be okay if we just use it really quickly just to test it out. I think that should be fine. I have a broken piece of a cinder block that we can try it out on. From what I hear, this can be quite noisy, so I'm going to make sure to wear ear protection. Okay guys, so I think I understand how this thing works now. It's super cool. Check this out. This is how it works. So it seems like what you do is first you set it to the drill only setting. And that's what I had it set on when I was doing the first hole, and it was taking forever because I didn't really understand how this thing works. But basically you set it to the drill only setting, and then you kind of start drilling into the concrete or whatever you're doing until you get like a groove that the drill bit can kind of sit in. And once you kind of get that groove, then you switch it to the drill and hammer setting. And once it's in that setting, it goes like super hard. And as you saw, my second hole that I drilled, and it went right through there in just a few seconds. And I probably should mention that that cinder block is probably a lot softer than the concrete footing that I have here. It's probably not going to drill through this concrete quite as fast as it drilled through that cinder block, but I think it'll do the job. And just to double check, guys, let's make sure that our rebar can fit through that hole. All right guys, it's a pretty tight fit, but it definitely fits through the hole. Awesome. So once I get the grease for that drill hammer or hammer drill, whatever you want to call it, I'll be ready to get started building that retaining wall. And as usual, guys, I have some shout outs for the Aquamigos. I have a shout out for Twisted Koi, Joseph Shembri, Keeping It Koi, Sleepy Girl ZZZ, Animal Papa, J-Ro Ortega, and Silent Silver. Thank you guys so much for being Aquamigos. I really appreciate it. If any of you watching this would like a shout out in my next video, all you have to do is go down to the comments below and comment something with the word Aquamigo in it, and I'll shout you out in my next pond build video. So anyways guys, that's gonna be just about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're finally ready to move on to the next step, which is building that retaining wall. And as usual, if you did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. If you would like to see more of my pond build progress, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also that bell notifications button. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll go ahead and put my handle right here. It's at YT_Tobias, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace.